Before we get into today's Market Watch, I want to talk to you, the viewer, as well as all the creators that actually do watch these videos. I know it's a lot of you guys who bring me cards, tell me, oh my gosh, this is going up, or have you seen this one, John? Essentially, they're trying to pass a federal bill to break up the monopolization of ads, which realistically is where our eyes, tech companies like Facebook, Google, and all of those. The main name being tied to this is Google because they do a lot of work on multiple sides of ads. And who's interested in this real quick? Let's point that out. Dying traditional media who has less and less views, thus are getting worse ad rates going, we're making so much less money over here even though we still have X dying views. And also who houses all the politicians and platforms them? Dying traditional media. Do you see who might be interested in this together? But this is a shout out for you creators to start diversifying your profile on how your revenue streams are made. Used to, I only made money through Google Ads, and if you think this is completely me being self-interested with this shout out, no, it's a warning to others. That's now my second lowest form of income. I do sponsorships, I do streaming, and up till recently, streaming powered by the player was my top form of income, but Master Duel's killing my boomer of a channel. But seriously though, I'm so lucky to have the revenue stream I do with something that people are actually interested in with the community. I see other major YouTubers doing HelloFresh or Raid Shadow Legends and getting that bag. I understand that, and if I had to, I might even end up going that way, but I would resist it until the very end unless I had to. But even if you don't want it to be a full-time job, it's nice to be able to do hard work and get rewarded to up your equipment for your channel, right? Cameras, microphones, and not just take an L to do a labor of love. That's a really awesome thing about content creation, right? I think Master Dinnerflax actually just monetized his channel for the first time, and while the amount seems big, it affects a lot of people. Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization, for example, completely run on adverts. How do you think that news organization keeps its lights on for the community? You go on mobile, you see ads everywhere. I would be super for them cracking down on targeted ads, taking a pay cut there in terms of maybe click-through rates or whatever. I am huge for them cracking down on that. But this seems very, very weird in terms of who benefits, directly the people over there. But we live in a society. That being said, what's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Let's go ahead and kick off today's Market Watch with more Banlist shakeups. We had Code Talker Duelist already leading sign-up minings, but now Salad players are back in droves getting excited, and sign-up mining, despite a rare reprint in El Dorado, is starting to spike over here to where it's passing the holographic super rare. That one is a bit weird to me, and the other holographics, of course, the original secret rare and ultra rare out of Duel Overload that was shorted, are a little more expensive than those two. We also have Heroes getting a huge boost with the Hero Lives to 3, right? And people super excited about that. Then you also have Heroes, you have Power of the Elements, and that's more the Neo side of things, but Power of the Elements bringing another level to parts of the deck. A Hero Lives is now down to 3 copies for Duelist Saga. You see the Ultra Rares going, and now the Commons still readily available. A budget version for you, but the excitement for Heroes doesn't end there. We have Liquid Soldier spiking ridiculously and going up to $100+, and then you also have a Dusted Gold Secret Rare out of Brothers of Legend. Remember, this is shorted, as well as Malicious Bane starting to spike up. Now, why were you holding off on that again? Hero Lives is a 3. I'm gonna ignore this. It's that Legendary Duelist Season 3 quotes a double dose of Jaden, so much so that the ultra rares will come in the Duel Academy dorm colors of Slifer Red. We have blue for Obelisk Blue and standard ultras for Raw Yellow. Red is really cool. I'm gonna bite this gimmick, but I think the evil heroes are perfect for red first off, and I have people in my Discord in the market tab even saying I think they're gonna pass on these. A double dose of Jaden to me implies not just Sunrise and Liquid, but Legendary Duelist 5 plus Legendary Duelist 6, which both happen to have Jaden. And what are the only heroes out of 5? I really don't think they will be passing the double dip reprint on these. I think the bigger question is Magician's Souls personally, because would they really secret rare promo it again? Would they down it to that ultra rare? Are they gonna finally make it that easy access? That's the bigger question to me. But again, it's Konami. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Will Gold and Bane end up finally getting another reprint here and just be squashed in terms of price, or are they going to start spiking, and the people going in right now, they are the ones calling it right? Again, there's also time versus value delays on products, wanting to play these immediately, and they're not that expensive for the engine. Understandable on that end. Also, have a nice day. Therion King Regulus, I told you guys that it boosting up to 80 and being bought out was extremely bloated, and to hold off on the pre-sales. Well, you didn't hold off on the pre-sales. They're completely sold out at Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily, and it's almost back to that price, although to be fair, code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly knocks it down a good chunk cheaper than this, and now they're $61.50, which is still a little bit up from where the bottom out during pre-sales was to a little degree. You see some ended up selling for like $50, but a ton of them ended up selling up in price all the way up to $70. Actually 40s. They sold at 40s. That's pretty cool. I think this will end up going back down a little bit more as competition rises, but a lot of people told me to stop tunneling in on Earth Machine. I found that hilarious. Yes, there's the Punk engine. Yes, there's other machine decks like ABC. Tons of other decks are going to benefit from Regulus. Like, look at Union Hanger. Even lower in quantities for the secret rares, getting a third buyout, A secret rare, B secret rare, C secret rare, and ABC Dragon Buster. All of their graphs look freaking the same, as the secret rares are all hitting towards like $5, and people are truly excited to be able to play this deck again. I think a lot of people now look fondly on Paleozoic ABC Metal Foe format, and it's a triangle that is pretty interesting that could come back into play at a later date. Then you have, for the plant Therion stuff, Malay of Trees. This is an old Billy break call. I think I have a ton of them in the house somewhere, like up to 125. I think they're still here. But Billy was like, yo, John, this one's going to be so hot one day. I think it was one of the last cards I built a pile of before I stopped vending. This one is being looked at for rank 3 plant good stuff, and it is spiking up pretty ridiculously right now, and has always been huge potential for combos. Maybe I need to break mine out here, or maybe double down buyouts. But Rogue is getting way too expensive. Let's face it. For 1 copies of certain cards like this respiking, or speculation like this, Rogue is very expensive for what it is, and sometimes a card only has 1 printing, then tons of other options like the others we just covered. But Malay only has 2. We're looking at number 90 here. It only has 1 printing, and people were hoping it would get reprinted. Hopium and Ghost from the past 2. Now it's spiking back up for rank 8 decks having access to it. Weather Painter Cloud, speaking about Rogue and 1 printing. All of the Weather Painters like got reprints except for this poor guy, and he's now up towards like $16+ This is freaking ridiculous, man. But yeah, oh, this card's hard to get. This card's hard to get. And this is a much better deck. Plunder Adventures at least got a backbone to it, and a lot of creators are spotlighting it and stuff like that. Now down to 9 copies. It's just a lot of that in terms of the buyouts. 1 printing, and people like it, or it could be good, or this could be happening for it. New support's finally here, and this constant cycle of it over spiking has been plaguing the modern market to a degree. Now, here's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Ancient Fairy Dragon is getting bought out as every Signer Dragon gets reimagined. Ultras even, all the way first edition, up towards $60, over double versus its market price. And when we look up Ancient Fairy Dragon in general, it's not getting much cheaper for the other versions, but interesting to see even all the way down to the first Ed Ultra get targeted. I've been looking really hard at Grand Creators. This is now all 3 archetypes bubbling, unlike Genesis Impact, and it's the first collector rare set that's a deck building set, not a world premiere set like Toon Chaos or King's Copium. This has 3 archetypes all getting focused. The Punk engine doing very well for itself. The Adventure Token archetype now dodging a ban list, people going in on that, right? You also have Torrential Tribute, which has done nothing but go down, and is nice for past formats. And then you have Solemn Strike completely flopping on its face. People don't like how it looks. You then have the Exo Sisters, which have a lot of potential upcoming after another update, and fighting Splight once Power the Elements are here. So I find it super interesting. They even made the regional playmat Exo Sisters, by the way. That was interesting for it not to be based on a core set and for them to go for Exo Sisters, in my opinion. But you look at all of these bubbling up things, the ultra rares are only 3 0.6 each pulled per case due to the ratio of 3 ultra rares per box. That's without short printing. It's why these sets have been failing, but with so much popularity behind this, I would think about getting what ultra rares you might want to be playing way sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. See what I did there? Wrapping around back to that beginning conversation. But seriously, I do think that these sealed boxes could be the first collector rare deck building set that does well for itself somewhat long term, with all 3 archetypes inside doing well. I do miss those all foil sets. They did way better in terms of sales rates, but yeah, it's just really hard for vendors to open when you're only looking at 3 ultras per box and then 4 collector rares per case. Even with it doing this well, that signifies to me a shortage then in terms of the actual ultra rares that could be out there for certain cards, and I would think about definitely getting those probably over the sealed long term, but super long term, the sealed may actually do okay for itself. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the conversation, and this again is to let you know where creators' heads are going to be at should this actually pass, and also a sound to, hey, diversify, figure out different ways that you can work with your content. I'm already there. You guys should probably be heading there too, and thank you, the viewer, for making that possible for me.